Now, this is my question here. All right. I'm sorry, I feel a lot of that myself, but I'm not in a position. I'm not in a position where I'm in front of a lot of folks and I represent anything except for the Kickin' It with Kysii show. All right, so my question is, in that position, because she didn't necessarily do it as a position of ESPN. You know what I'm saying? She did it from her personal Twitter account. So that's my thing is, all right, she did it under herself. Not, I just thought about that. Maybe you ain't the right person to comment on this because of the fact that you're employed by ESPN. So there's certain things you can say here. You know what I mean? Good. So you ain't necessarily got to give your whole truth on it. So I'll do that for you. You know what I mean? I'll do that for you. And like I said, we are open line here. Somebody want to call in. The phone line is in here. 218-844-1930, extension 450-685. So my man Tyler can't cross so many lines and boundaries if he feel a certain way or not. But
nah, hey man, listen to the podcast. I cross it.
Okay, but so that's what I'm saying. All right, so that's your podcast. That's her Twitter. So is that different because she expressed herself on her Twitter? Why is that reflective of ESPN? Like, at what point is the line drawn?
That's the slippery slope. That's her personal account.
Right.
It doesn't say Jemele Hill, ESPN. It says Jemele Hill. But I guess from a corporate standpoint, they look at it as, well, you're a representation of us. You're one of the faces of the company. They hold you to a higher standard. And anything you say or do, in their eyes, is a reflection of the company. So they felt as if she crossed the line. And it's almost like, as a parent, your kid gets in trouble. You didn't get in trouble, but your kid did.
Yeah.
They're a representation of you. I think that's how ESPN is looking at it. Like, you're supposed to be representing us. And yeah, it's on your personal time. Yeah, your child might have got in trouble while they're in college, away from your house. But still, they're a representation of you, and they're sullying your good name. And so ESPN felt like she sullied their good name. They're Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse. They're extremely PC. And anything controversial, they don't want no part of it. And that was what she said. Even though the truth was extremely controversial and all of the backlash, they didn't want no part of it.
Right. Now, a great point Tiffany PNP said. So there may be a conduct clause, but if they don't fire that commenter for being drunk and in someone else's hotel room, then how will they fire her? That's what she said, and that doesn't make sense. They didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't at all. This is the story that came out a couple hours ago, and it basically said ESPN denies trying to bench Jemele Hill for calling Trump white supremacist. So it says ESPN denied a report that the network tried to replace Jemele Hill with another African American host for a show Wednesday on the heels of Press Secretary Sarah Sanders calling the SportsCenter 6 anchor's anti-Trump tweets a fireable offense. Citing two sources familiar with the situation, Think Progress reported on Thursday that ESPN executives wanted to sideline Hill and reached out to other black hosts to fill her seat next to co-host Michael Smith. According to the website, Smith refused to do the show without her, and two African-American ESPN hosts declined to fill in. We never asked any other anchors to do last night's show, period, an ESPN spokesperson told Fox News. Donald Trump is a white supremacist who is largely surrounding himself with other white supremacists. Hill, the face of ESPN's SportsCenter 6, a relatively new version of SportsCenter with an urban feel, tweeted. Think Progress reported that ESPN didn't allow Smith and Hill on the air Wednesday night until it became clear that they'd have to be replaced with white co-hosts. In the end, ultimately, Michael and Jemele appearing on the show last night and doing the show the way they did is the outcome we always desired. That's what ESPN Senior Vice President Rob King told Think Progress. Hill and Smith have a long history and are known to be extremely close. They co-hosted shows together on several platforms before being promoted to the network's new version of its flagship show. So that's what they're trying to say. That's what ESPN is saying. Of course, I said, you're employed by ESPN, so I don't expect a comment from you because I don't want you to put your gig in jeopardy. But they're saying that that this information that came from Think Progress is actually false, and that they said that, you know, they at no point in time was thinking about firing her. That's what they're trying to say, or replacing her with another personality there, which is crazy. Because to me, even though they might be right, I know they did contemplate it. They might not say it. It might not even come out on the truth. The truth may not never come out. But I believe that they contemplated, if anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Man, look, I'm gonna end this here, man, because I don't want to handicap your whole show.
Yep.
But ESPN, like I said before, they are extremely PC. Just a couple of weeks ago, when all the stuff went down in Charlottesville,
yep,
they pulled an Asian announcer whose name was Robert Lee.
Oh, I remember.
If they pulled him from a college football game, you know they was going to pull Jemele from the six last night. It's a PR move.
Yeah.
You pull the heat to let everything die down some, and then you bring her back once it's no longer a topic. They didn't want that heat last night. They wanted to pull her, but I think they got more of a backlash than what they were expecting with people rejecting to do the show. I'm sure many expressed their opinion, and Michael himself refusing to do the show. They had their hands tied, and they just let her do it. But I think if it was up to them, they absolutely would have pulled her yesterday.
Absolutely. No doubt. That's crazy. So
I'm going to go, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. You said yeah, roll?
Yeah, I'm going to get my daughter in the bed, man.
Okay. That's cool, brother. Hey, tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter as BS Podcast 864, Facebook Tyler Butler, and you can follow the podcast, Enough with the BS Podcast, on Spreaker, iTunes, and iHeartRadio.
That's right. That's my man. Also, XSquadAffiliates.com.
Yeah, X Squad, man. I love you guys.
Appreciate that,
Best
Tyler.
group in the world.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me on, man.
All right, brother. Anytime, man. Be sure to catch his show.
All right.
When he goes live. All right, brother. It's my man Tyler. Enough of the BS Podcast. That's that little whole music. So, check it. We're going to continue chopping it up. Like I said, the phone lines are open. 218-844-1930. Calling line is 450-685. That's 218-844-1930. Calling line is 450-685. We got an open forum here. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. We're going to talk about it. So, you know, I always got a guest on my show. So, tonight is always, you know what I'm saying, one of those good shows. You got to have this every now and then. You got to have one of those shows where you just air it out, lay it out, and just roll with it. And that's what it is tonight. So, my next thing I actually wanted to talk about was the banner at the Boston Red Sox game. So, the banner at the Boston Red Sox game said, "Racism is as American as baseball." Racism is as American as baseball. They caught some backlash because people really didn't understand what they meant by that. Some people was offended because they were like, "Wait a minute, man! Wait a minute!" It just didn't sit right because they thought that, you know, it was pro racism type of banner the banner was anti-racism. Like, yo, face reality. You know what I'm saying? They're saying face reality. This is what's happening. You can't sweep it under the rug. You can't hide it. That's what the banner was meaning to say. So these dudes cleared it up because people they had some backlash. People thought they were, you know what I'm saying, on some real supremacist type stuff, you know what I'm saying, airing inside the baseball game. But it was actually the opposite of what it was. All right, let me see. What? All right, L, you got. Oh, okay. L said Sage Steele would have. Or Sydney says Sage Steele would have done that show in a heartbeat with her punk ass. That's right. Sage Steele is pretty ridiculous, man. Pretty ridiculous. Big L, what is you watching, man? You watching the show? You said Big L said, "Wait a minute. Did she go to jail like him? The colonizer can't get drunk, fall asleep in someone's bed, and it's the same thing." Yeah, man, exactly. You're right. It's not. It's totally something different because ESPN continued to support old boy out of the ridiculous stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that he did. And, you know what I'm saying, she got that backlash. Now, the crazy thing is her contract going to be renewed? Do we know? Do we know if her contract is going to be renewed? Hopefully so. You know what I'm saying? I hope there's no backlash long term. You know what I'm saying? But they might treat this real crazy and just do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will not be renewed. We're going to slowly fade you out. We're going to fade your show into a dim light. Make it not so popular, etc. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do, man. That's how they do with that. So it's a very possible way that they'll actually punish her. You know what I'm saying? Slowly punish her without a whole lot of backlash. You know what I mean? And to me, they're losing a lot of their personalities to FS1, Fox Sports 1. Now, there are some clowns over at FS1 too. Not to say that, you know what I'm saying, their plate is clean on that end. But they do have some rays of sunshine as well. And that's my man Shannon, you know what I'm saying, on his show. That's a ray of sunshine for him and his opinions. To keep it real, you know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, you still got Whitlock's show. You know what I'm saying? You got that. You still have him and Colin Cowherd, and you know what I mean. It's some desirable shows and some undesirable shows on that network, just as it is on ESPN. So it ain't much difference. But I will say that the balance of the scales, ESPN is losing a lot over to FS1. So some more money will infuse into FS1, and it will strengthen their position and one day become that sports talk leader. Like I said, the phone line is open. We can talk football. We can talk about a lot of stuff, man. The number is 218-844-1930, extension 450-685. I will put it in the chat. You want to call in, we will rap about it. Yes. Big L said ESPN is cutting people left like crazy. That's right, they are. They're doing a lot of cutting people. They're cutting people. They're not renewing extensions. They're not paying the people what they deserve. That lets you know, man, monetarily, ESPN is probably in trouble. Being the sports leader for so long, being that go-to spot for sports, a lot of people are tired of the BS narratives. A lot of people are tired of the spin on the bias on certain stories, the spin on certain stories, the opinions of sportscasters who may not even play the sport. You know what I'm saying? The bias that they have, like what authority they have to even have this opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's disheartening sometimes when you watch ESPN, man. So this change to have a refreshing news source like FS1 is a good thing. And I wonder whatever happened to the NBC Sports thing. You know what I'm saying? It never really developed like it should have. I thought it was going to be the major competition right behind it. But they're still just, you know what I'm saying, just a just a month, man. Not really a lot going on with the NBC broadcast. The only thing they had going on were those Olympic broadcasts. So it's crazy. Let me see. My man Vince said ESPN overpaid